have exactly $500 to completely transform this rusted 2-decade-old truck. It's been neglected for years. I'm just one guy in a driveway, and to be honest, I have no clue if this is enough money or if I even have the skills to pull this off. If I do this wrong, I could ruin the engine forever and completely waste my budget. By the end of this video, this truck will either be driving down the road looking brand new, or I'll be forced to sell it to the junkyard for scrap. Starting with the oil change, I bought an STP extended life oil filter for $9.99. I got 5 quarts of STP synthetic 5W20 at $26.99. I got an 8-quart drain pan for $6.99. I got a fast fill funnel for $4.99, and I also got some gloves for $14.44. Now let's do this oil change. First things first, I grabbed the wrong socket twice and didn't loosen properly, so I did it by hand and I got oil everywhere. Definitely not a clean single pour. I also spilled a little bit of oil when pouring the new stuff in, but thankfully it wasn't bad and it's burned off now. I think what's funny about maintenance is that sometimes it doesn't feel productive in the moment, but it's definitely buying back future time. Next, we have something easier, the air filter. The clips were difficult to move, but when I finally got them off, I was in for a surprise. Somehow there's dog food in the airbox. I'm not a mechanic, but I feel like it's not supposed to be there. I pulled out the old filter and I thought if I air dusted and washed it, I could reuse it. But the mold inside had other plans. So I bought a STP air filter at $18.99, and here's the part that gets me. I would have never known this was in here if I hadn't opened the box. So check your filters. Not because the guy on YouTube said to, but because you have no idea what's in there until you look. Before installing the new one, I cleaned out the airbox pretty good to give the new filter a fighting chance. Next, we got a gallon of 50/50 coolant at $19.99, 5 jugs of distilled water at $1.44 each for $7.20 total, a new funnel for $4.99, and some coolant additive that helps with corrosion for $21.99. From here, it's fairly easy. I drained the coolant after spending 20 minutes looking for the petcock. The radiator fill tank was holding onto some dirt pretty good and looked empty. After draining the old coolant, I ran a flush using the distilled water and coolant additive. After 2 passes, I finally had good looking coolant. Now rapid fire because none of this fought back. Brake fluid, clean the cap so no dirt falls in, test the old fluid with the strip, 1678, fresh DOT3, 449. Power steering, fun fact, my original owner's manual says this truck doesn't take steering fluid at all. It takes automatic transmission fluid, Mercon V. A quart was $9.99, a fluid pump $14.99, a funnel $2.99, old out, new in. Windshield washer fluid $4.99, done. All of it goes to the recycling center, none of it goes down a drain. Doing the job right includes the part nobody films. I think this next cleaning was the scariest for me. If I spray the wrong part with too much water, I could put my dream truck out of commission. Cleaning your engine bay is not for the faint of heart, especially when it hasn't been cleaned in over 2 decades. Before I start cleaning anything under this hood, I need to make sure the battery is removed. I've never removed a car battery before, and the thought of getting electrocuted wasn't helping me. After a couple of tutorials, I mustered up the courage, disconnected the negative and positive connections, and removed the battery. With that taken care of, I moved on to double checking all connections and dipsticks to ensure nothing was loose. Once that looked good, I'm doing the dry clean technique. Basically, I'm taking a dry brush I got off Amazon and an air duster to knock around loose dirt. The brushes cost $7.99 and I'll link the brush in the description. I saw this on a Chris Fix video on how to clean your engine bay. I'll link the video in the description as well. I started brushing the aluminum spots with a steel brush to help remove the grime. This was the same steel brush I used later in the video to remove rust off the tires too. After doing a second pass at dry cleaning, I cover the engine and sensitive spots with trash bags. As I'm rinsing the hood of the car, I'm also praying that the trash bags are good enough coverage. After the hood is rinsed, I'm starting the engine bay at the driver's side with a rinse to knock any loose dirt from the dry clean. I started cleaning the driver's side with some cleaning wipes, and I definitely did not realize how inadequate this was. I changed strategies and used a large brush that I also used later to clean the carpet of the truck. This brush set us back $9.99. Also, the bucket I'm using is for a cleaning kit that I bought, but we'll add that in the next section. As I'm working the brush across these grimy surfaces, I'm super careful not to disconnect a sensor or knock something out. I want to make sure this truck can start back up with no issues. After a quick rinse, I degrease using a citrus degreaser from AutoZone for $9.19. I also use a smaller brush that I mentioned earlier for the more awkward angles. For the passenger side, it's the exact same wash, rinse, repeat. I put a healthy amount of degreaser on the air intake hose since there was a bunch of crevices I couldn't get that well. Most of it came out, but some stuck around. After scrubbing that degreaser in, I do another rinse. After carefully and slowly removing the trash bag, I spray degreaser everywhere and start wiping down with a microfiber. I bought a 24 pack of microfibers from AutoZone at $9.19. This technique definitely helped get the dirt and excess moisture out of the engine bay. Then I used my air duster to ensure there were no puddles collecting, especially around the ignition connections. Next, I spray wax on all the painted surfaces. The Turtle Wax 26-ounce bottle was $9.99, and don't think I'm weird for this, but it kind of smelled good. I used some clean microfiber towels to buff in that wax spray. With the metal looking good, it's only fair that I should show love to the plastic and rubber too. I bought a bottle of Trim Restore for $13.99 and laid it on thick. I kind of felt like Picasso doing these brush strokes. As I was wrapping up the engine bay cleaning, I noticed something weird. The washer fluid and radiator coolant reservoir lettering had faded a little bit. With the yellow paint marker at $6.49, I got the lettering looking better, although I did spill a little. So now we're sitting at $257.62, which I think is pretty good. We've given the engine new oil, a new air filter, and some other fluids. We also took an engine bay from looking like this to this. The truck started with no issues after cleaning, so I think we're doing well so far. Next, we're washing the outside of the truck. These are the brushes from earlier, so we're not adding them to the cost. The car wash kit you see here was $25 even. The wash mitt was $8.99 and the tire shine was $13.49. The wash is straightforward, so I'll let it play. The wheels are the part I didn't think would work. They looked done. Rust everywhere, and I'd already assumed I'd be shopping for replacements. While I was washing the truck, I started brushing one wheel and quickly realized the rest would be a job for tomorrow. So let's jump forward in time to wash those real quick. The front wheels took me about 45 minutes to an hour a piece. The rear wheels were a lot easier, and I think I did them in about 25 minutes each. Wow, look at that shine. Just for reference, these were the wheels before. Now there's still some rust and dirt in the harder to reach spots, but man, that shine is crazy. Okay, now back to washing the truck. There's just something I love about that scrubbing sound. We're looking pretty good for a 24-year-old truck. Now let's do the inside. One of the first things I noticed about the truck was the smell. The previous owner had soaked some makeup remover pads in eucalyptus oil and placed them in air vents to mask the scent. But the truck just smelled like must and eucalyptus. If I want to make this truck my daily driver, we're going to have to kill any nasty stuff that might be producing that smell. I started with an odor eliminator that I saw in a Creds Fix video. I'll leave a link for it in the description. Next, I used some interior cleaner that I got for $9.99 and wiped the inside down from top to bottom with some Scott towels for $4.19. Oh, I also got some new windshield wipers since the last ones were destroyed, so that's $19.98. Now that things are wiped down, we can vacuum the carpets, and this one's a freebie since I used the free vacuums at the car wash. After vacuuming, I'm shampooing the passenger seat first. Next, I'm doing the passenger side carpet. Thankfully, there's 2 floor protectors on the carpet, but there's still some fairly dark stains that I'm not sure I can get out. I tried adding some detergent and scrubbing with the carpet brush, but most of the stains stayed. Jumping to the driver's side, I'm not sure if the seats can be saved from the staining. Lastly, I'm doing the floor mats, and you can tell by the water in the vacuum that the whole interior was filthy.
Well, all in all, that comes out to $349.21 for the restoration. We're way under budget, which is a good thing. Wait, you're probably asking about the headlights, right? These are from my first video, but if we're counting these, we can add $296.95 for the headlights, $135.66 for the taillights, and a third brake light for $23.99. That'd put us at $805.81 for the whole build, which still isn't bad given the massive quality improvement. This channel is me taking this Ranger from neglected to something worth keeping, and eventually there's a V8 going in it. Same truck as this morning, fresh fluids, breathing clean through a filter that isn't growing anything, a cab you'd actually want to sit in, and wheels I'm not embarrassed by. If you got an old truck or anything that's been running on 20-year-old fluid, stick around. Subscribe if you want to see whether this thing survives me. Next episode, we're taking the truck in for inspection to find out what else is broken and if I can get this truck roadworthy. See ya!
Well, I already know I give you love, but you're rational.